Well, welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8, and this is part 5 of Let's Play The Letter. It's a horror visual novel, and I'm playing it blind. Last we left off, we had a nice little slice of life episode, and I wanted to double check it's recording again. And yes. I need to stop doing that, but then I need to stop on tangents too. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial mood. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes and unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Fluxborn remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against pavement and the inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fill the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to the Brio Realty for me, Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. But more than once I catch her sneaking a longing glance over something displayed on a shop window. Did she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it to her for Christmas. I turn my head to the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. Whoa! Hi there! Yeah? She looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, and boring into my very soul like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea. A hum, low and indistinct, compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. Yeah, you still haven't explained how I do that. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump, screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls.
Leave me alone.
You know, given the last episode, I kind of forgot this was a horror game. Just because we're like, oh, we're at a realty office. Now we're having, fish. When was the last time I ever ate bass? Oh, that's probably been years. Here lately, the only fish I've really ever eaten was tuna. Maybe some salmon. I haven't really had much variety when it comes to that. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wounds on her arms and her nailless fingers. I don't want this. I don't think anybody wants this. Not like this. How would you want it then? Not after I got what?
No, stop. Leave me alone.
Well, she doesn't seem to like that. Her face contorts and she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly forgiving. Unforgiving. Rage. There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please! I don't want this!
Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from screams I didn't even notice already coming out of my mouth. The back of my feet catches loose stone, sending me toward the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of my haze, burning. For a little while, my surrounding appears unfamiliar until Becca's face swims in my vision. A look of concern is on her face, and her hands grip my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry, while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. She's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its way at the hole in the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up anything to get the wretched sensation
You were
out.
screaming. Zach, call someone! No, don't. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up.
For some reason, anyone ever, I know this is an older game, but there's a game called White Chamber. It's very interesting. I definitely recommend it.
I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Zach. You watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
I attempt to smile and put her at ease, but its life comes off as grimace. Gently, I push her hands off my shoulder. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Away. The humidity is stifling, everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run. I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. Here, with the occasional drips of water in my sink, and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. But even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. At least you don't have, the grudge girl here. Loud, so loud. If only there was a way to tune everything out, and to keep my head from replaying every image and every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room. From the windows I've left open. My gaze shifts over to the letter. Its edges flutter innocuously as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or rip it into pieces is still there. I mean, you technically did send it to 5 people. And heck, if it says... you have a photocopier obvious at work, right? So here's the thing. Keep the original, and just photocopy it, send it to people. Obviously it's more than just a superstition at this point. I can easily do it, but after that, what? How do you send it to 5 people? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? And you have a photocopier. Makes it a little easier. Knowing that she's real, I might also go after the people I care about. I just wish someone would listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish my phone from out front of the mess of papers and cushions where I've carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. I want to double check to make sure it's recording. Yes, it is. Hi, Ash! Ash's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling because of this afternoon?
Thank you so much for spamming my inbox, scaredy cat.
Hey, Ash.
What's wrong?
I just had a long day. The couple who bought the house wanted us to finish processing the papers within the week. It's a little hectic, but we'll manage.
Really? You sold it?
Don't sound so surprised. I told you, you don't stand a chance. The rights won't take no for an answer. You've been on the losing end from the very start. Ha!
Whoever said I was interested in the house in the first place?
But you said...
Despite his light tone, his snicker comes off as annoying to my ears. I have to fight the urge to end the call right then and there. Stupid Ash.
You're such an ass. And just so you know, I'm not treating you to a separate celebration. Or ever.
No, that's just unfair. And here I was looking something up for you. Didn't you say you wanted to talk to Andrew?
I pause. I did say that, but I didn't think he'd actually go through the trouble, considering how much he scoffed at the whole topic first.
Is he okay with that?
Totally. Besides, I need to ask him about something. I might as well do it soon. What do you say you come with me tomorrow morning?
Well, there's no harm in it, I suppose. I've got a free day anyway.
Great, I'll just pick you up. Don't oversleep.
Don't compare me to you. I'm not the one who sleeps like a rock.
Another round of chuckles from him. Oh, I will live for the day he'll stop making fun of me. Just wait, you ashhole. As I'm about to end the call, he clears his throat.
And, Isabella?
His sudden, diffident tone sends my eyebrows shooting up into my hairline. Is the world ending today?
Yeah? Did you forget something?
Do you think Never mind. Good night.
So, he must have a crush on her. He's just nervous. Like I said, if you like someone, just let them know. He hangs up instantly. Rude, completely rude. I didn't even get to thank him. Busy tone, no muffled echoes to the receiver. Well, it's not that he's being rude, he panicked. No one is saying this will work, even if I doubt it will. But right now I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Sleep comes easier tonight. And for the first time in a long time I dream of clear skies, unrestrained laughter from children, playing in the streets and of a small, cramped dwellings. To outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this home is home to me. Morning dawns and bright, clear following day. Although the air still feels muggy, and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it is one of those rare weekends when I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it wasn't for Ash's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already headed downstairs where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His hair is a disheveled mess, eyes drowsy, or fell out of it. Or both. He looks adorably rumpled this way. I'm not going to tell him that. It won't bloat his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash.
He makes a motion with his finger around his ear. Tone it down.
Can you even drive?
He answers me with a slight raise of the hand, a yawn, and nothing more. He has never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that, I'm thankful to every god in the universe. Less mental capacity for him to make fun of me. There's a reason why mornings are my favorite. It doesn't take long for us to reach our destination. A small cafe is situated in Luxembourg's busiest street, the same one I'd often visit Becca for its cheap food. But I'd never gone here on a Sunday, and it's striking how different it appears about the usual weekday and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we also have back home, near the university I used to attend. I wonder what happened to it. It was being renovated before I left, so I never got to visit one last time. The place has always had a calming effect on me. But today, despite standing in a place similar to it, anxiety easily washes over me as I step out of the car. I'm quite used to dealing with people I've never met before, thanks to my work, but still, I don't know him. In spite of the fact that both Ash and Becca vouch for him, what will he think of me and my story? What if he thinks I'm crazy? Hell, even my own friends thought so. I draw in breath to quell the panic beginning to rise in me. Oh well, only one way to find out. A few hesitant steps forward, and then Ash suddenly pulling me back.
Hold on, scaredy cat, not too fast.
Without warning, he flicks my forehead.
That hurts! What was that for?
He's already walking away when I look up, and I hurry to catch him puzzled. I really don't understand this guy. At least explain why you're flicking other people's foreheads all of a sudden. So rude.
Get yourself together, will you? He's not going to bite. He's very accommodating, too.
I wasn't scared of him or anything.
You don't look like it. Didn't sound like you were okay last night either.
Huh?
What was that last one? Hey! Don't just ignore me!
All questions and retorts die on the mouth once he opens the door to the shop. A cast iron bell attached to it chimes softly, announcing our arrival. The smell of freshly brewed coffee welcomes us as soon as we step in. Like the usual, several tables and chairs have been set up for patrons, and most of the customers have forgone them in favor of more comfortable throw pillows and bags that staff have laid on the floor. Becca would love to know they have something like this on Sundays. She's been complaining about how uncomfortable the library chairs are for a long time now. Ash leads me to a secluded spot near the window where an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, is seated, enjoying a brew and a book.
Professor Clark!
It's just Andrew now. I'm no longer your professor, Detective Inspector Frey.
The guy Andrew looks up from his book and gives a smile. The sheepish look crosses Ash's face, the older man's admonishment. More unusual, in my opinion, is seeing him appear like a parent has just scolded him. But it suggests a familiarity between them, one that goes beyond what someone expects from a simple student and mentor. With another warm smile, he gestures for us to take empty seats opposite.
Have you been waiting long?
Quite some time, but I come here early on weekends. Best time to get their first serving of bear claws. They're the only place that serves it here. I took the liberty of ordering for you two. I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be best to talk over a decent helping of coffee.
Soon enough, a waiter brings us 2 cups and set down a basket of pastries.
Aren't you going to introduce the lady?
Ah, right, sorry. Isabella, this is Prof. Andrew. He's one of my professors back at the university. Andrew, this is Isabella Santos.
I know I was saying before I thought these guys were 26, but honestly, I'm getting more the impression that Isabella is 29 to early 30s.
Santos. Portuguese? Spanish? Brazilian? Mexican?
Filipina, actually. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Ah, your name carries a lot of history, Miss Santos. Just Andrew is fine. Don't do what Ashton's doing. He doesn't listen to this old man.
He doesn't listen to anyone, more like. The awkward tension typically present in first meetings dissipates after that. I was expecting someone strict and to an extent someone severe, but Professor Andrew Clark is definitely the opposite of what you had in mind. More personable kind, similar to a grandfather who dotes on you at family gatherings. It's obvious why Ash is taking the liking.
Ashton tells me there's something you wish to discuss that I could help with. Let's hear it then.
I give Ash a hesitant glance, but he just nods and gestures toward Andrew with his head. He's leaving this to me. It's my story to tell after all. I keep it short and concise. I found a letter in the mansion. Now I'm cursed. Exactly as I told Ash and Zach when they were about it. I don't mention the name of the place. No use saying it now that someone else legally owns it. No use dragging other people into my
I'm
problems.
sure it's that letter I found. But I don't know anymore. I just want to know how to escape this nightmare.
Of course. We're talking about the one in Anslem Village, aren't we?
How did you...
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study, but fascinating. It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job at explaining topics like this one compared to me.
Well, he was studying the haunted house, so probably why he died.
Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
Well, I agree with both viewpoints there. I mean, even if you don't believe in whether it's religion or ghosts or supernatural or aliens or AI or all that sort of stuff, it's interesting the way human beings think about it and the way it affects the way we interact with each other and the way it affects human psychology. Then, of course, there's the discussion of the actual thing itself. But no matter your view on it, it's interesting to see how human beings, how it can alter the way we treat each other, the way we behave. Also, if he's very strictly against religious things, then why is he wearing a cross? Is it just because it's popularized as an anime thing?
You don't believe in those stories, sir?
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history. And it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
What about me?
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing. In the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very interesting thing in sociology. Not just psychology as far as the way the brain works, but, just the way different people approach the same subject. I'm not the smartest Mr. Round, but I understand what he's trying to get at, I think. It's still too much to take in at once. I looked at Ashfield, but his eyebrows are drawn a frown. He keeps staring like at his cups. I'm pretty sure he'll crack some.
There's still something you're not telling.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights. Then you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
They don't have anything to do with this.
Rights. Luke and Hannah, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who got the blame.
Right, he did kind of make a pass at her, but like I said,
Not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want once they set their eyes on it.
but at the same time, you may have just seen someone having a panic attack, and maybe that was the best way to, help the person out of it. But then again, I think that's from a person-to-person basis. You do what you think is the best for that person. I don't know. What about you guys? Comment down below. If you see someone having a panic attack and they're completely freaking out, how would you help them? And would what Mr. Wright did, W.R., what's his first name? Damien? Dominic? I don't know. Anyway, was what he did wrong? But yeah, if you saw someone having a panic attack, how would you help them?
From what I've heard, word gets around.
Heavy a sigh escapes my lips. However, not they're just clients, albeit a little pushy, but clients in the story. I'll save this for the run where we're being an asshole. Was it again that Becca does to deal with a particularly difficult child, pesky, annoying kind? Wish I could remember. I could certainly use the same trick right about
Ashton,
now.
look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed. The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
Yeah, there is. He's concerned about you, and he feels like there's something that does bother you that you're not sharing. So he's just trying to be a good friend.
Your working relationship with them. When's it going to end?
About a week from now. It depends on how long the approval process would take, but they wanted us to rush it.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent. If yes, then I don't see a problem with it. Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
What? Why? It's my job.
Even you're still not doing it. Well, obviously, as a detective, he must be investigating them. Maybe he was at the open house to get, to spy on the Wrights. Maybe they're into something corrupt. Then again, Ash is far from younger sibling me. Maybe they're serial killers. They have it out for the Lucky Charms. If he'd only spell it out, but he's not legally allowed to tell you. That's how it is, right? Find even ground, talk about like we're adults we are. It wasn't like this before. Like I said, he's trying to be your friend, he's trying to be concerned about you. He's also basically a police officer, and he's like, hey, the people you're working for might not have your best interest in mind. They might not be on the up and up. I wish there's a way I could tell when or why. Probably when he started dealing with serial killers. Instead, I'm left searching blindly for reasons. Next thing we know, we'll be drifting further and further apart. How frustrating.
Now, kids, settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
Sorry, Sir Andrew.
And we're not going to solve anything either if you keep omitting things.
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
That is true. Isabella, you need to admit that, hey, I was having a panic attack induced by being haunted by the Grudge Girl, and the dude tried to help me deal with panic attack in a way that could be construed as sexual harassment and him hitting on me. Now that being said, I am a little confused at what the guy's intention was. And you are admitting that they are probably like serial killers and you're investigating them. And you're just concerned that you don't want her in a freezer.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite. I see that hasn't changed.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student? I'm sorry, I need to ask. He doesn't talk much.
And there's a reason why. Please don't.
Tried to sleep on the first day of class. He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest. I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
By the end of the conversation, Axe looks like he's preparing the dose. I don't know. Anytime I say this name, I just think either Ash from Pokemon or Ash from Evil Dead. By the way, who would want to hear Rammstein the band do a cover of the original Pokemon theme. He's never been one to talk about himself. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I gleaned over the years. He's an atrocious singer, he's a bad art, and he has a personal vendetta against boys. Now it feels like it isn't that hard to figure out after all. It's past noon when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting, but before we separate...
Miss Santos, a word of advice. Just keep in mind that when it comes to cases like this, things aren't always what they seem.
Naturally, the mentioned letter was brought up several times during our talk, and though Ash is right and that Andrews offers a different perspective, he has left me more questions than answers. What is she? What does she want from me? And is she ever going to leave? They all continue to bug me after we leave the coffee shop. I don't even notice when Ash takes a different turn on our way back.
Where are we going? You can drop me off at the park.
Guess. You have 3 chances.
I'm serious, Ash. Where are we going?
He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops his car in front of a stall, nondescript food stall, a little ways from the movie house. If I wasn't paying attention, I would have missed it without a doubt. He motions for me to wait as he gets off the car and walks in his direction. Sheesh, if you want to buy something, just say it. No need to make yourself look mysterious. It makes you look more like a dork than cool. The wait isn't long, however. Soon he's walking back holding 2 fish-shaped cones in both hands. Ice cream, parfait? Across to the 2? By the time he's back inside the car, I've given up any effort to figure out what's he bought. Not that it looks bad, it's actually quite cute.
Here, take it.
I have to move my head back a little when he thrusts at me, to avoid the ice cream and the fruit toppings from ending up in my nose.
What's this for?
Huh. That's a unique style of design.
My arm's getting tired. 5, 4, 3, 2.
With a wary glance, I take it off his hands. I still understand why there's a need for ice cream today. He's being nice to you. Also, I'm getting the impression I think he likes you. And Becca likes him. It's actually pretty good. I must show my face, but he chuckles as soon as I take another
Saw
one.
the place open the other day when we watched Zach's movie. Thought I should give it a try. It doesn't seem like a bad place to get food from time to time.
And you're giving me free ice cream because...
Do I need to have a reason?
Are you really going to ask me that?
Here's the thing with Ashton Frey. He does not just treat anyone to free food because he feels like it. He's that much of a Scrooge. Hell, he even asked me to teach him how to haggle once. Haggle, of all people, who'd ask me that? I'd have expected such a request from Becca, but not Ash. Not at all. I'm going to be honest, he looks a bit constipated with that expression on his face right now. I think he's starting to regret ever buying this.
The other day? The movie with Zach and Rebecca? Rebecca's there, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
What?
Anyway, during the movie, we, that's to say, we... Shit. Should have written down something first.
Get to the point, Ashton.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for, not getting to the point. I'm sorry for the other day. I got carried away. I said things that upset you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay? That's all? That's all you're going to say? You're not still angry, are you?
You didn't have to buy me anything. A simple sorry would have been enough.
I bite in the cone again, a small attempt to keep myself occupied and relieve the heat crawling up my face. It doesn't work, but at least I don't have to look at it. Why am I feeling embarrassed over an apology? I have no idea. It's not like it wasn't called for. They were being mean, especially him, and in a fraction of a second it hits me. He skipped his day off just for today. I should be the one apologizing and thanking him. Silence is awkward company while we finish our respective snacks. There are words for this, for people like us, for understandings and sentiments like this. Yet, in this instance, they won't come. As promised, he drops me off at the park right after, phrases unsaid still hanging heavily in the air. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. where children are usually seen running around and playing. There are now people leaning back on their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one would catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. Maybe I should try walking home today to get my mind off things. Try to find the words somehow. I haven't done that in a while.
Thanks, Ash, for today.
No problem. Say hi to Rebecca for me.
Yeah, I will.
Even so, I linger. We both do. A mild, humid breeze brings the smell of dried leaves, warmed earth, and a far-off distant memory. A fall starts and awkward first meetings. Same place, same people, playing the same parts. Funny how all the days my brain chooses to
Wait,
overlap.
Belle.
Ash exits the car. His strides are unsteady when he approaches me. Or maybe this is uncertainty showing? I'm not quite sure. He has never looked uncertain to me before. Always calm, always sure, always collected. He stops a short distance from me, close enough that he's within arm's reach, but just far enough that his voice can be heard over decent small talk. If this is what it's going to be.
Here,
He fumbles for his
catch.
helmet. A small bag lands cleanly outstretched his hands before hitting the ground. I raise an eyebrow. He responds by shrugging and stuffing both his hands in his pocket. Somewhere to the side, he finds an interesting spot to look at. Sometimes you have to wait, honestly, Longo. For once, this time, I'll listen. His voice is halting, hesitant, when he finds it again.
My mom used to make me carry around one of those when I was young. To ward off evil and bring you luck, she said.
I don't believe in this kind of thing now. But if it makes you feel safe, since you're a total scaredy cat, then I guess it's okay to give you one.
Perhaps at that moment there aren't any words for it. I've never been good with those. Not sure what the correct choice is. And lightly in the place of one couldn't spend together, where it's early to seek, I lean over. And give him a little peck on the cheek. Aw, that's nice. The touch is short and fleeting. Kindness speaks volumes of boundaries we don't often cross as friends. Nevertheless, the thought is there. It lingers. The gentle autumn wind that passes, the empty space separating us, when I step back and look up at it with a smile. It's easy to express gratefulness this way, isn't it? At least with my own family, that's the case. And the two of us, I'm not quite sure. Do you understand? After all, gratitude is considerably harder to put into words. When you spent the latter half of your friendship teetering between good-natured jests and ruffling each other's feathers. Seconds pass before he clears his throat. His face has gone remarkably red, whether from heat or something else I can't quite tell. But he understands. I know he does. He has a smile on him. When he finally meets my eye, it's the gentlest I've seen him shake.
I gotta go. Got some reports I forgot to file the other day.
Yeah, see you around. Thanks for the ice cream and the charm.
Don't lose it. We won't find one here again if you do.
I won't. I might move like I have 2 left feet, but I know how to take care of my own stuff. I'm not a total klutz.
I know.
And Belle, remember that one time? Devlin Court?
Oh, I do. All the clarity in the world.
At the time, when we... What I'm trying to say is that you can rely on me. If something... anything happens. Not the exact same thing, of course, but... you get the idea. I'll be around.
I'll keep that in mind. You're not that bad after all.
Before leaving, he waves to me one last time. Next time we talk, we'll be back the way we were. Because at the end of the day, that's how things have always moved between us. What we're familiar with and what we're comfortable with. And for all that, it's always easy to put my own faith in it. I just hope I can keep them safe. Keep him safe. The light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and the distinct smell of earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good. I need to visit the grocery too. Come to think of it, wasn't there a store that opened recently near the park? cat's name is Kay. Or at least that's what this collar says. It's an odd name to give a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks grace much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow the hand movements everywhere. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating, but if I'm honest, I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me after all. It wasn't a bad idea carrying around 2 heavy bags. It was a bad idea carrying around 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a show ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought all these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park, and now I'm suffering under the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench, drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home, they're considered ill omens.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life. Of course, growing up with rowdy younger brothers and sisters does that. Or maybe it's just the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Well, grateful or not, there's no use moping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it's not like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or cross my path.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped over one of his paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat, not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could. Do you want one?
I don't think a cat can eat a sweet, can it?
Baruthia!
Like a good, properly trained cat. Baruthiol? That's not how I would have pronounced that. As soon as he called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCullough's hard to miss. What with her height?
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you?
It's a cat! It's not like... It's a giant dog. Though I remember I was house sitting for a relative once. They had to, I think, go to Kansas for a week or something. So I watched their house, and they're both dead now. You know, the dogs. You know. Animals, unfortunately, don't live very long. Lifespans. That wouldn't be bad, though. Imagine if you had a genie. It's like, hey, what do you want to wish? How about people's pets actually live, you know, as long as the owners do? You know, it's kind of sad having to bury something you care about. Even if it's not a person, it's still sad. But yeah, they had 2 German Shepherds. And anyway, one night when I let them out, they had to go potty. A skunk actually sprayed one of them in the face. Granted, that skunk got immediately killed because they're 2 really big German Shepherds. They're big, big, big dogs. But, you know, afterwards I had to, you know, I was cleaning off the dog's face. And, you know, so I'm on my knees trying to clean the German Shepherd's face, you know, to get stuff out of its eyes and try to help because it got sprayed by the skunk in the face. And while I'm cleaning the one German Shepherd's face, the other German Shepherd comes up to me and just starts licking my face. Like, aw. It's like, the German Shepherd's like, okay, you're going to clean his face, I'll clean your face. So, I thought that was really cute.
Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Baruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthiel's a she.
Sorry you're offended by that, but let's be honest. I wouldn't have been sure how to even pronounce that, let alone that it's a Granted, they're like I would have assumed the gender of that name is male. Okay, just because I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. So it's not like I'm being mean to your cat. It's just I'm not familiar with the name, so I'm doing my best to fill in the gaps. The pause is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. I feel like this is a save point. I keep my tone cordial and warm. I feel talking about the cat is the appropriate thing, because that's what we were already talking about. So, I mean, that's, it'd be kind of weird to just change the conversation to our work.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCullough.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have pets.
Why does she look angry?
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
Now it's a little uncomfortable. Is it really that big of a superstition?
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat?
No, not at all. She's very sweet. Just in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck?
Back at home it is. My grandmother used to tell me stories about it.
Nothing has happened to me so far.
Displeasure is evident on her face. Ah, of course, I've forgotten that. For other people, black cats are an omen of good luck. There you go, running off mouth, Isabel. I rack my brain for a way to remedy the situation, but she holds out.
This is a good place to stop and end this conversation, don't you think so? It is good to see you again, Santos.
A complete dismissal if I've ever heard one. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she's forgotten to
By
say.
the way, about the Irmingard mansion, with my clients, it's the rights. I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
The letter, the same one they saw. Whoever she is, she asks for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss Cullough that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hastened to pick up all the bags I left on the bench and ran as far as my legs could take me. In that moment, what I'm carrying in my hands was far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. What do you have to feel guilty about? They know. They know. They know it's not like you lied to them. I want to go home, anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house, so there's nothing to feel guilty of. Cowardice for what? Food tastes less appetizing. Pity. Hunger isn't what's gnawing me together, neither are my sore muscles.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide. The victim, identified as Rose Pamela, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
That being said, it does mean I wasn't that far off of understanding ages. Rose is 33. She's a few years older, which means, if Isabel is probably 31. So I would assume that Isabel, Becca, Zach, and Ash are all between the ages of 29 and 31. But more than likely between the ages of 31 and 34. Rose?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood.
Oh, God!
The words "help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
Oh. The double gods. Should I turn up the music a little bit? Is there an option for the music? I feel like I hear some music, but it's not very loud. Options. Sound. Let's up the background music to maximum. Apply. Successfully applied. We'll turn that down if the music seems overbearing. Because I don't want to, damage my ears. But, oh god! Discovered lying in a pool of her own blood in her 2-bedroom flat with the words "help me" repeatedly written on the walls. Okay, what you do here is you immediately call Becca. That fucking instant. Because this is not something you can process on your own. Even without the supernatural shit going on. Your coworker and your best friend at your job, and your only other friend besides Becca, pretty much. She was just murdered. You need to talk to someone about this, because this is a very traumatic thing, and you need, let alone the fact the supernatural element of it kind of makes it a lot worse. But at this point, your best thing to do is this. Call up Becca immediately. Call up Ash. Especially since you have additional reasons to be concerned. But even if it wasn't for, the letter and the supernatural stuff, call Becca immediately. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone told me, so why? And immediately I rushed to my study table and searched my phone. My hand cold red as soon as I touched its edges. A piece of folded paper, a letter, lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago. She was okay. No. It isn't Rose, I'm sure of it. I just talked to her, and a sob escapes me, and hot tears begin to run one after another. They trickle down, weighted by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same one I've been hiding from. The same one that put people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick up and tell me to turn down the waterworks. And call me what's
answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again I dial, whispering. Praying. Pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
The latest trouble started in Hackney in the East Mississippi late this afternoon before spreading to Lewisham, Peckham, and now in the last hour to Croydon in South London. And these are the latest...
Slowly I become aware of how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a fetal position the night before, if I even slept at all. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud. Instead, the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone because of me. Gone because of the one letter I was too curious to look at. I should have been more careful. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else had gotten involved. Usually with cursed items, that doesn't work. Though there are some situations where it does work. I don't know. Depends on the scenario. Sometimes it makes it better or worse. It's like flipping a coin! Notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mocking me. Look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normalcy. Oh, shit. In light of the recent events, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy, policies will be able to discuss. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sales report. The last 6 months was submitted. We are set to manage to review. We are expecting everyone's... That's a... Fuck you! Dick! This was one of those typical days I'd happily comply and get myself to our office. Today my limbs just feel heavy. On one hand, going will keep me busy and take my mind elsewhere. On the other hand, the place itself is a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. Well... Save. Go to work. Moping won't get me anywhere. It's like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a small smile no matter how bad things get and hope for the best. Although my whole body feels like lead and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word on it glares back at me. They sneer. They ridicule. Like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it in my bag, perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. This, too, I'll deal with. Somehow I'll find a way to make things right. I have to. Before it takes more people from me. Even if I must do it on my own. Papers rustling, telephones ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, today looks like a typical working day at the Bridal Realty Corporation, except it isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has already heard about Rose. If they missed last night's legal report, they'd likely see it in the morning news, in the papers, or various points in the mail. Everywhere is a bitter reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth, as though the mere mention of Rose might be enough to trigger something in me. It's appreciated, but only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose left. After lunch, my boss calls for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what it's about. He's in a strange, pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead colleague. Oddly, I'd appreciate it more if he just shouted at me today. Anything is better.
I'm sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for a funeral, yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors. By the way, has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff? None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word? In my office?
At the end of it, I've been given the entirety of Rose's workload, including finalizing the rights papers, and have been promised an ample compensation for my efforts. I think he's expecting me to be happy about it. Instead, I immerse myself in my work. I have to anyway, I don't want to forget. Employee of the Month! Time flies when you do, and I give notice it's already late. Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of the janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people easily.
The Luxbourne Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
The radio blares one name after another. Hold on a second. Missing? Aren't they? Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn back to my desktop. The loud tap of my fingers against the keys fills the office for the better part of the shift. As I look through everything, the background about the place, its history, the current owners, and list of employees under the BRC, and I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff, they may have a lot of agents hired, but I'd remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew that worked us in preparing the mansion for the open-out. They're all dead! Then the letters... No, that can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
But Rose is...
Something snaps into place in that fraction moment. Those people. Rose, the letter. Yes, all the AWOL staff are dead.
I need to... No. If it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ask's office says. If I have proof, then maybe. If I don't want to get my hopes up, maybe there's still a way that I can save them. The letter, my phone, my papers, anything that will be useful. I grab all of them, stuff them in my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something those people should. The noise cuts sharply through the room. Stop my hand from cramming a pen in my bed.
Hello? Anyone there?
Someone must have left the printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person is certainly going to have to fit tomorrow over a wasted company resource. Most of the time, it's Rose who does the nagging, but the clicking of my pen in my head is a welcome distraction as I search for the set of object. Each stride my feet takes also echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, who's probably also dead, with me being the only one left. Tapping my feet against the wooden floor is something I soon learn to appreciate. It doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about the ground, the paper tray having been left ajar. Sighing, I pick each place up and put it in some proper place, but the page that greets me next makes my blood run cold. The chill that makes up my spine is as numbing as the day in the attic. The sheets crinkle under my tense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it rasps through my gritted teeth. But before I can even gather myself, take the first steps out of here, total darkness suddenly envelops me. As if hearing every horrid thought running inside my head right now, something snaps. A soft creak, grating through the thin veil of stillness that has descended in the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes rigid at the sound. Familiar, so familiar now. Yet my own traitorous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over the cubicle's wall. We're just gonna see the lady from the Grudge movie on the phone. We're like, yes, so we can't have you buy this for that. Yes, we can knock up. Yeah. And it's like, oh, hi again, Isabel. Yes, I got done killing Rose a while ago. Wait by the water cooler so I can kill you here in a moment. It's her! But she's not doing any of the comical stuff I said. Standing in the only exit in the office, albeit facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same misshapen face, tattered clothes, and unsightly gait. The same person in the attic. I take a step back, the pen I'm holding slipping from my hand, and her entire head turns. That's not how vertebrae work! I scream, almost escapes my mouth, and I duck under my table. She just saw you! That's not how hiding works! My heart is pounding hard against my chest. I can hear the bone-chilling sounds of her walk, the weird clicking that follows her, and the telltale squelch of something wet as she walks toward me. Nearer and nearer. She watched where you hide! You know, that's not how The sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping me whimper from escaping me is my hand that covers but someone please save me. Anyone. I close my eyes, muttering a continuous stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please don't let her hear me. What the hell is this? Shit! Oh, fuck. Damn it! Yes?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
We're gonna die!
Be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
But I'm getting a reminder of Undertale, the game.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
With the last lines of my prayer have left me, all that remains is a hush. None of her footsteps, nor the chilling sound she makes. Only silence. Is it safe? No, because we failed a quick time event. Another second passes when nothing comes. Wait. Well, that's not good at all. Hi! Can I interest you in some Visine? Okay, so we're gonna try this again. Damn it! Why am I so bad at this? Okay, I succeeded. The seconds, minutes stretch out before me agonizingly. Is she gone? Slowly I open my eyes, take a peek. Well, and don't dare move or make a noise. Because... yeah, but she watched where we hid. She knows where we are. It's, she was staring right at you. And that's assuming that she has normal human limitations. Please don't let her notice. She watched you get under your desk. She was looking right at you. I want to live. It's far too easy for them to pay attention, enraptured. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All of it would have been stifling had I not grown up to use such fair stares. Most are respectful, some are hostile, if we are honest, and a few are downright inappropriate. After all, I am...
Kinda right!
There's a moment of agitation as a familiar, but less than welcome face approaches me with a suggestive smirk on his face. Of course, I have to keep a benevolent smile and greet him as I greet any good friend. After all, this man can turn heads, being famous in his own right.
Officer Lee! What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party.
He is more Luke's friend than mine. Really, and I'm quite only invited his wife. Much like I am only friends with the Chief Inspector because of Luke. Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. Unlike how I treated Lee, however, Luke never hid his animosity for Lee, matriarch. It was an odd sort of friendship where we would have an awkward double dates. I don't even recall his first name. It started with an N. I think I might be wrong. Aside from being the Chief Inspector of Luxport, Police, his wife Rochelle Lee Vance owns a General Electronics company. Fridges and freezers.
I always have time for my favorite socialite couple. Might I say, you look positively ravishing tonight. I see the husband isn't with you.
The way his eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl. She's married! I just wish Luke was here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. You know the ones. Men who are just a bit too friendly, staring too long at my assets and getting close because my husband's not here. I will say this. I have been staring at her tits. But she's a character in a game. So yeah. In real life, you need to avoid doing that because that's very rude. That being said, I don't think I would mind if there was a woman, just staring at whatever assets I would have. Though you can't really see, what men have, because, pants. But, main point I'm trying to say is this. I would actually be a little flattered if, there was a woman checking me out and thought I was attractive. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. But yeah, as far as if someone's married or are in a relationship, you shouldn't be hitting on them. And you should try to be respectful of people. In my own house, if I might add. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace.
I suppose you are looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Rochelle isn't here.
A shame. I do hope he isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor.
What?
The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with her doctor and she needed to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all.
We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so as he would not leave my side after finding his place there. Much to my chagrin, I have been extricated from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, for I can tolerate them far better than Lee. He is a nice enough person and I adore his wife, who is obviously the brains behind it too. But there is something unsettling about him. I I do not trust him as much as I want to. He regaled to me tales of Luxembourg Police Department, a different affair to the usual gossip I'm privy to, and though I loathe to admit it, his interest nonetheless, I expect the topic of business to die out quickly, which would be understandable enough due to the confidential nature of his work. But oh boy, was I wrong.
So, wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the mutant chasing on foot and screaming about theft. The look on his face was priceless when I parked in the garage.
Oh my. You made him chase you all the way home for a prank. What did Rochelle have to say about that?
He is a married man who did not grow up past his early 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. A lifetime if compared to marriage of 7 years with Luke. Okay, so his name's Luke. I wasn't even close. I, on the hand, well, Luke is no Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Although my darling did have his moments.
The wife pulled my ear and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know. Or you probably don't.
No, I don't. But a flat in downtown. I suppose if that's what you like.
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife. I wouldn't mind a place away from the city. Even started looking at the ads. I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale, or that something mansion. You know the one with all the ghost stories.
I know what he's talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here. It's
the Ermengarde Mansion?
That's the one. Worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses a place like that. It'll be a real fixer-upper. You also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task. You remember the Ludgates party at their Christchurch summer residence?
Of course. It was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy, too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer and they turned it into a bloody palace. She worked for the Exodus for their apartment in Soho too, and they recommended her when we were looking up pieces for our beach house in Porto Colom. I think I have a business card right at... No, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's called, what's her name? McCullough... Marianne, I believe, yes. But truly, if anyone were to get that place in McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and the talk of the town.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself. This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway.
Sure, a 3-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. I'm pretty sure that living room looks bigger than my entire home. Like, granted, it's 2 stories, like I said. I got a living room and a kitchen downstairs, and I got, living area upstairs. 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. Okay, maybe a lot of people. But it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. As is, I only invited about 30 people, and it already feels cramped in here. It certainly would be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors so I get to anywhere as well. All Luke's words and not mine. Besides, so you want to trade a... Besides, I've been looking for a good anniversary gift. Luke might like this one. Where is he anyway? Luke is dressed to the nines, as he usually is, and he looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. His butler and valet wait at his side, just in case he isn't as ready as he looks. Oh, sure, that is normal. What is confusing me is the fact that he is on the way out of the penthouse, considering we won't have anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn Tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place. I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Mary Ann McCullough.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this. This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere. You know how I operate, Hana. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking, unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis. And you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday morning.
Bullocks, I don't remember doing so.
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
He did. Moaned about me being too loud, but gave in some pushing. Perhaps that was a bit cruel and manipulative of me, but...
Whose side are you on?
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance.
Gordon Bennett, like what? I feel like we might as well just say, like, can we just use Gordon Ramsay as a cuss word now? Like Gordon Ramsay! Heck, instead of like saying like God damn it or stuff like that, what if everyone just popularized saying, like, you stub your toe, Gordon Ramsay! I might start doing that. It's just like if I feel like I want to cuss, I'm like, he drops, I'm like, fuck, Gordon Ramsay!
But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff, and you are going to take a cab home. Are we clear?
It's just a bit of a husband and wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have their arguments. Once the honeymoon phase over, they seem to call it, reality sets in, and you and your partner may not always see eye to eye. Perhaps it has been years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff at.
I cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the Triad Tasting.
Though sometimes I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and I have to stop myself from wondering where we went
There's
wrong.
always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour-and-a-half drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff.
Where is Cardiff, Manchester? Where's my phone? Oh, I have it turned off at the moment. Okay, take a moment for that to load. But I'll look up. I'm pretty sure Cardiff is in Wales? Is that in Wales? So is this in England? Certainly, any problem can be discussed. As long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hana?
Save. Sounds kind of like Minecraft music.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want. I'm ecstatic. Understood? And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened his closed mouth a few times, struggling to reply, before he crosses his arms looked like a well-open
Any
child.
more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
No wine.
No wine? Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
Okay. If you are having so much wine at this tasting, air quotes, maybe your doctor shouldn't be having to say that you might, die from it. Especially at your age. Your liver should not be failing.
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
What does that mean, stocks? Does that mean it's like a fridge for holding wine?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Oh, it is a fridge for wine. Okay.
Whose side are you on?
The side that keeps his employer alive.
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor.
The ride of the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around. But yeah, let's look up where Cardiff is. I'm pretty sure that's in Wales. No. Let's see, Cardiff. Capital of Wales. Oh, I was right, yes. Cardiff is the capital of Wales and a county officially known as the City and County of Cardiff. It is the United Kingdom 11th largest city and main commercial centre of Wales. Cardiff is the base for Senedd, most national cultural institutions, and the Welsh media. Getting suggestions for stuff like Belfast, Bristol. What is Cardiff famous for? Cardiff is the home of the National Assembly for Wales, industrial center, food processing, hub for commerce. Is Cardiff a good place to live? Vibrant, affordable place to live. 20 years, Wales capital, transformed into a thriving city. Cultural, consumer living, Alex should be top of the list. Okay, Cardiff really should be top of your list as one of the best places to live and work. Is Cardiff cheaper than London? Living costs are less in Cardiff. So apparently, whatever would cost you £15 in London would cost you £10 in Cardiff. Do you need a car in Cardiff? Cardiff is a compact city. It's very easy to get around. Well, we're at least close to that area, but they did say it's 2.5 hours away by car. So it could very well be the other end of England, because England's not exactly, the United Kingdom's not exactly enormous. Does anyone out there actually live in England? Has anyone actually been to Cardiff? But, if you were to start at one point of England and try to drive all the way across it, or say, how long would that take? Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion, I see his eyes light up with genuine interest. Apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair at Ermengarde Mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period piece. It is tastefully decorated, and with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place that Luke and I can call home. And the number of other prospective fighters that might have come from powerful and wealthy Lugsborn certainly did not disappoint, marking this estate as a prime property. The Lees are amongst the group who went with the Rose Woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. What's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabel, who... there's a purple tinted shadow. I think I saw an achievement over here, but I didn't get a chance to read it. What is her problem? It is different to see, like, because up to this point we've been playing as Isabel. Now we're playing as I can remember this. Hana. Her name is Hana. I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she is scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale, then she is panicking over some sort of prank letter or another. The second thing on my mind is how touchy my darling husband is being toward the poor dear. Now, that's the thing I don't understand. Like, is this guy hitting on her, or is he just trying to help her? Because here's the thing. She was having a bit of a panic attack, and from outside perspective, you just see someone having a freak out. I mean, so on the one hand, you say, oh, he's just trying to help her. On the other hand, he is being a little touchy, so the question is this. Is that sexual harassment? I think it's probably a case-by-case basis, like, you know, how well you know the person and the circumstances of it. But mainly is this, what's the person's intentions? And honestly, I can't really read what Luke's intentions are. But I mean, if you see someone having a panic attack, I mean, how do you help them? Like, if you see someone that's freaking out, like the way Isabel was in regard to the, you know, the death ghost, how do you help that person? Like, what do you do? I cannot even plaster a smile on my face, a horrid scowl taking its place. There is no way I can pretend nothing is wrong as I hum.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
He is quick enough to detract his hand, which is all that girl needs to, well, for a lack of better word, escape.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Her partner follows, shouting at her without hesitation. There is an awkward air among us as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. The others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking about the poor, daft girl and telling the tale of whoever was not audience to the act in the first place. It doesn't take too long for the woman Rose to return and pull us aside in the study for what I rightfully assume is damage control. Rose invites Marianne too, hoping to apologize to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she is not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke, the least of all eager to make himself comfortable in the study he's no doubt already claimed his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young, and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat, too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Oh, it's fine. The poor girl must feel so embarrassed about what she just did. But I say, let bygones be bygones. After all, she's only a child.
She's like 31, isn't she?
She looked, what, 19?
I shoot Luke an accusing look at these words. Yeah, because you guys are older. I mean, I'm pretty sure that police chief, and they're like 50, and you guys are, what, 38? And not only that is a girl, but also Marianne and Rose, too. Has he been flirting with them? Like, I had the thing where I'm concerned, like, Marianne, that maybe he was fucking her beforehand. But she was the one who found out about her, so that can't be the case, right? And was he being flirty with Rose? What kind of husband would think it's even a remotely good idea to make moves on 3 different women while his wife stands there? Did he drink while I wasn't looking?
She's a bit older than that.
Yeah, she's got to be like 31,
Again,
right?
I apologize. And if there's any way I can make up for what just happened...
I know what you can do. Be a darling flower and get us one of those bottles you plan to serve. Pop it open.
We were planning on serving some champagne. I can get that.
How about some Pepsi?
That would be lovely. Much obliged.
Do you want a glass as well, Ms. Wright?
Oh no, I'm fine. I really shouldn't be drinking right now.
And Luke shouldn't be either. Right now I'm just too tired for any sort of argument. I don't have the heart to scold him in public as well. I am certainly not his mother. I just want to get this horrid day done with and go to sleep. Perhaps I'll even have a strong cuppa before I head off to bed. You know, that kind of reminds me. Drinking a nice cup of hot cocoa before bed's usually pretty good. Yep, that sounds nice. When Rose comes back with the champagne, I beckon her over. As I have told her partner before, I have every intent of acquiring this house. I might as well, even if I'm having second thoughts about it, get it for Luke. The moment we, the Wrights, had expressed interest in this place, we've had eyes set on us. If we don't buy it, that might as well be a signal to have busybodies gossip about how we may or may not have lost our fortune. Regardless of the fact that it is false, image is everything when dealing with these people. These are the unspoken rules for such as ourselves. And besides, I really did like the place. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderfucks. The ugly painting in the study. That's not a painting! I can see the painting in the background, it's just some dude. This is not what that is. It looks like a bad fake of an Edvard Munch painting.
Here's the deal.
Where do you see that
higher than
painting?
your listing price.
The mirror? The mirror! Is that a mirror? It's not a painting, it's a mirror. You're looking at... No! Here's it. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing
If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%. I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne. Alright, she's been waiting outside the study the whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this mansion
Please do.
There is a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Yes, like a professional. I see the moment when she steels herself and masks her worry. Admirable.
We have this project, then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out. You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
Hush falls upon the room at my request. It's a mirror! That is a mirror!
Painting.
And lo and behold, the painting is gone. In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confusion.
Odd. Well, no matter. Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
You brushed that off way too easily!
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you. I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house has a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of all of it will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to schedule whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the Emergard, or rather, the Wright Mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good.
I've never really enjoyed parties per se, but I have gone to quite a few of them. Though, to be honest, a lot of the reason why I went to a lot of parties was because the friends and people I was hanging out at the time, because they were the ones throwing parties. Because they enjoyed drinking and smoking weed and, being social and having people over. And me, first and foremost, I just wanted to spend time with my friends. But they wanted to have big parties and do stuff with other people, so that's just the setting we wound up in. That being said, I also, while I prefer smaller group things to just hang out with friends, one, I mainly went because one, I wanted to spend time with my friends. But two, I also had the interest that, well, if there's going to be other people here, I could probably make some more acquaintances, meet some more people, be social, maybe meet some more people I share some kind of interest with, and of course, maybe meet a pretty girl. But, meh.
Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then! It's a date.
It's really not.
Oh, you're into women. Because otherwise you wouldn't be blushing. Then again, because if you weren't, then it'd be more of a blue tint. Because, manga and anime and video games tend to illustrate points that way.
Alright, Monday, 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggests that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that unholy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear, without outright saying it, that we now own the house. By the time we left the mansion's grounds, the sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
I don't know what to say about your portrait, sir.
Well, I'm glad you're not complaining like you usually do. It's a right and proper Christmas miracle, isn't it? Hannah has finally done something right.
I refuse to look at him, staring at the passing scenery.
Hey, Buttercup, what's with this cheek?
Rose, Lily, Mint. The nerve, Luke, the nerve!
Who is Mint? And her name is Isabel, not Lily. And is Mint supposed to be the interior decorator?
Is that what this was about? One, that woman's name was Rose. And two, I don't mean a word of that empty flirting.
Were you flirting? Was he?
And it's still the principle of things, Luke. I understand if you try to woo them to get what you want when it seems that I'm not looking. But I told you once before not to do it when I'm there.
Luke dealt with other women in the past to get what he wanted. Sometimes I have my doubts. I really want to believe that. I am an exception, that he is not just using me like how he used all those other girls. Well, you shouldn't use anyone! Here's the thing. It's kind of like you get in a relationship with somebody that's cheated on past partners. What makes you think you're the exception? If you're willing to betray one partner, you're willing to betray all of them. At least that's one thing I can say. I've never cheated on a single partner I've ever had, and I've never mistreated anyone. And it isn't just this shameless flirting. There's something about the Mary Ann woman, as if Luke is... I got that impression too, but, he said he hasn't met her before, so... And I'm also getting the impression that Mary Ann might be doesn't swing that way. So, maybe I'm just really bad at reading people. I'm not very social. Aside from what I have to in public, but keep in mind, a lot of that's me being a very depressed person, putting on a smile and pretending to be happy and trying to cheer other people up. But that's mainly because I don't want other people to know that I'm depressed. Because that's my issue, I'll deal with that. I don't want to involve other people in that. And I don't want to be some whiny crybaby or for people to, just be looking at me over that sort of shit. It's not what I want, and I don't want anyone's pity or, contempt. As much as it shames me, it makes me jealous and realize of it. I mean, it's kind of understandable in that situation, though. I am, suffice to say, ticked off.
Really?
Understandable.
I forfeit my trip to Cardiff for this, and you're still not happy.
Dude! You act like it won't come again. You're rich. You don't really...
Oh, trust me, Luke. I am very happy. Very happy that, for once, we are doing something that I want.
Why are you two together? Like, what was it that you... Why did you guys get in a relationship?
Can you not see the smile on my face?
It was only when I let loose those words, the truth hits me like a slap on the face. And by the way it looks of it, it seems to have had the same effect on my dear darling husband. It has always been what Luke wants to do this and Luke wants to do that, hasn't it? I don't remember the last trip we went to, which was of my own choosing, without needing to get the man's approval. On the other hand, I was pulled along to every single expedition he wished to tackle, and I never objected. The rest of the ride home was spent ignoring each other, pretending the other doesn't exist. Arriving at our penthouse, my first order of business is to get into bed. Forget a hot bath and forget the tea. I just want to bury myself in blankets and forget everything in my slumber. It seems that Luke has the same idea in mind as he tags along behind me, but this is something I will not allow the moment just pass through the door.
Out.
What the bloody hell, woman? This is my bedroom too!
Luke stands flabbergasted as I deny him entry in our chambers. His pillows lie on the cold, tiled floor away from the warmth of our soft down bed, and my gaze promises him the same fate if he does not budge on this matter.
Don't even try to argue, because I am very cross with you, Luke Wright. You can take the second bedroom or the guest room if you wish, but I do not want to see you at all for the rest of the night.
Johans!
Our butler wanders over, a curious expression on his face. He doesn't quite hurry, moving at a relaxed pace, no matter how angry his master.
No, you are not allowed to sleep in my room, sir.
That's not what I mean! Help me talk some sense into her!
There is no sense in questioning her right to be angry, sir. So, if I might be excused, I'll go prepare the second bedroom for you.
I have to keep a straight face as he stomps away in defeat.
Mutiny! This is mutiny! The system is being upturned, and the people are rioting, and everything is left asunder!
It isn't every day that Luke is rendered speechless by someone he considers inferior, or to yield to another authority without an ulterior motive. His pride just won't allow it. I do keep telling the man to treat his people better. He may throw whatever fit he wants, but he will not be getting his way tonight. Victorious, I celebrate by jumping face first into our bed. Music's fairly calm, but it's almost like there's an undertone of something unsettling. Undignified, yes, but nobody is here to judge me anyway, right? Nope, the girl from the judge. The girl from the grudge is judging you. Nobody is here to tell me what to do, yet. As I succumb to sleep, I can't hear them whispering me. I can hear them whispering. What are you looking into? What am I seeing? Okay, obviously there's going to be a jump scare here. But before said jump scare occurs, what is she looking at? Is this a mirror? Is it a... It just looks like a fucking hole in the ground. Why is that even there? It's a bedroom. It looks like she opened a hatch in the ground. That shouldn't be in a room. Help me. Calling for me. They want me. Is it recording? An hour and 39. I should probably end this at some point. They need me. They drown me, pull me down, and suffocate me in their embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss awaits me. Inviting it. They're calling to me from down there, aren't they? And do I want to help? I do. But when I try to reach out, something pulls me back, like a hook sinking itself into my stomach. Well, that's and I break through the surface with a gasp. Alone in bed, without loop-togged covers, I am soft in cloth and slicked with sweat. It takes me a while to untangle myself and take them all off. Both the bed and I are right in mess by the end of it, but I am more eager to get up and go for some fresh air. Okay. The days passed and gone by in a blur. We hadn't talked much, and Luke and I are outside of necessity. In fact, we've hardly talked beyond the topic of acquisitions of properties. Properties being the mansion, of course. Everything has been so busy that I haven't talked to anyone outside the business, and it's just so stressing. So no one can understand my need for a good chat, preferably with a good meal. I should probably end this recording here. It's gone on for a while. Okay, so bye.